to my channel. For those of you that are new around here, welcome. My name is Marika. I live on the coast of Western Australia with my wonderful hubby Greg, and I have 4 beautiful children. I have Will, who is 11, Em, who is 6, Crow, who is 4, and sweet little Jackson, who is just 2 years old. Here on my channel, I do lots of homeschooling videos, lifestyle videos, motherhood videos, and all of that and more. If you are new, I just encourage you to subscribe to my channel. You can hit that subscribe button down below, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up so that I know what content you like watching here on my channel. Today's video, I am going to be talking to you about foster care. Didn't already know, we are a foster care family. I have 4 children. 2 of them are my biological children, and 2 of those sweet little children came to us through the foster care system. They are my 2 little boys, and they are actually our children now. We are no longer under the foster care system. They are a part of our family permanently, which we are so excited about. Now, we are really passionate about foster care. Of course, you have to be passionate to sign up to be a foster care family, and I am a real advocate for people registering to become foster care family, and I actually get questions all the time about the process, what it's like, our journey, and all of those kind of things. So I thought that I would do a Q&A with you today and answer some of those questions that I regularly get about foster care. The very first process that we did was attend an information evening. These information evenings are run all throughout the year and in all different areas throughout our state. So you need to go onto the website, find the area that you live in, and look for the next information evening that you can attend. You don't have to attend the information that is in your area. So when it came time for us to have the time to go to the information evening, there wasn't one in my local area, but there was one in the next kind of division over, and so I attended that one, no problems at all. But you do have to attend this information evening before you can do anything else. So that's step number 1, find the information evening that you can attend and go. At that information evening, they just give you a really broad overview of how to get registered and what being a kind of foster carer looks like in our state, and you have the opportunity to ask any questions that you may have as well. They will take your details, and once you have been to that evening, they've taken your details, they then send you out the next steps that you can take to becoming a foster carer. The next step is starting that paperwork progress. You will have someone from your local area come out to your home for a very first meeting. It'll only be about half an hour in length. They will meet with you. If you have any children, they will meet with your children, your spouse as well, and they will just take a general look around your home and have a general chat with you about why you would like to be foster carers, what your kind of family life looks like at the moment, and then start to set up appointments for them to come back and have more chats with you. They want to have a look at your home just to make sure that it is child safe. So if you have a swimming pool, you have an outdoor spa, even an outdoor fish pond, they want to make sure that those things are secure, that children can't get into them. They would like to know where you keep your cleaning supplies and any poisons you may have in your house, medicines, and all those kind of things. Just having a general look at your home. And then if you do need to make any improvements, they'll let you know what those improvements are, and then you can go away and make those improvements in time to be registered. They will come and meet in your home for several different visits. So we had, I think, 3, but you can have up to 5. And they'll come and sit with you for a couple of hours at a time. And they will ask you all sorts of questions. And they will also have some paperwork that they're filling out while they're asking you those questions. And they have paperwork for you to fill out as well. They want to know about your health. Are you healthy to be able to take care of children long term? Do you have any medical issues? You may need to get a clearance from your doctor that you're in good health. They want to know about your emotional stability. They'll ask about anything that's happened in your life, what happened and how did you deal with it, what were your support networks. They want to know if there's been any death in the family. Have you lost any children yourself? Has there been any health issues? They're just trying to get an overall picture of what your life is like and how you handle stressful situations, because being a foster carer can be stressful at times, and so they want to make sure families are able to cope with stress and know how to deal with these things well. They also want to know, do you have a support network that can help you in this process? Are there people there that can support you emotionally? Are there people there that can help you with meals or taking care of children or helping you out? They want to make sure that you're in a great connected community. They also want to know your education background as well. If you have a job, what does your circumstances look like? Who's going to be the main carer of the children, and are you at home and available, and what is your availability? They want to know what kind of situations that you can take on and what things that you would say no to. They want to know how you run your household. How do you discipline your children? What are your strategies going to be with the children that come into your home? How are you going to help them deal with grief? How are you going to help them with behavioral problems that they might have? And so importantly, how are you going to show them unconditional love? How are you going to support them through this stressful time in their life? And things like that. They will also require you to give references as well. I think we had to give about 5 references, family references, friends, and workplace references too. And they did call our references and had about half an hour conversations with them as well. So whoever you put down as a reference, make sure that they are going to be able to have a conversation and have the time to do that and represent you as well. The whole process of getting registered and for our first sweet little boy to walk into our door took us 9 months altogether. Now, that is not a standard thing. Sometimes it could be shorter than that. Sometimes it can be longer than that. I don't have an answer over how long does it take to get registered. It's up to, you're working with a person, so it's up to their schedule, how often they can come and meet with you. Can you get it done in a few weeks, or is it going to take a few months? How long it takes them to write up their report and all those kind of things. For us, it took 9 months. As well as having those interviews with that person and filling out all the paperwork, you also have to do some training, and they have training options for you to do. Again, that's on the website. They will give you that information once you're starting in the process. But there's evenings that you can go to that are in the city, or if you can't do the evenings, you can just knock it out in 2 weekends. So 2 Saturdays, and that's what we did. We just went up to the city for 2 full Saturdays and did the training that they provided us with. And then they also provide you with ongoing training for all sorts of different things. So at any time you can go to courses and get training as well. Yes, you can. They will take couples, they will take single people. It doesn't matter what age you are. Anybody can apply to be a foster carer. So you just need to be able to make sure that you're in good health to be able to take care of children, especially if you are looking at having long-term children in your home. So if you are of an older generation, you might not have tiny little babies and little children coming into your home. They might give you some older children, just things like that. They're just making sure that you're of good health and that you have the stamina and things like that to keep up with children, and also the availability to be home to take care of children as well. So for example, in our circumstance, I stay at home most of the time, so I'm the primary caregiver. Especially when we were registering to be a foster care family, I was a stay-at-home mum and my husband was working. We both get registered, but I am the primary carer, and they would ask, do you need to put children in daycare? Are you available? Are you at home? Things like that. They don't mind if you put children into daycare and things like that. Obviously, if you're a single person, you may have a part-time job or something like that to keep finances coming in, but they will ask your availability. It doesn't matter if you have children or you don't have children, if you have had children or you've never had children. They don't really discriminate. But through that whole process, they will kind of delve into, do you know how to take care of children? Do you know how to support them, and all those kind of things. So if you are a grandparent, that's fine. If you have children in the home, that's fine. And so that's, yeah, it doesn't matter. Children in, children out of the home, it doesn't matter. If you do have children at home, they will ask you all sorts of questions of how are your children going to respond to having foster care children in the home. How old are your children? At the time that we became registered, my youngest daughter, she was just 3 at the time, and so they recommend that you take into a child from foster care who's 2 years younger than your youngest child who's living at home. So I had a 3-year-old living at home, and so we were registered for a 1 year and under. And so if I just had an older child who was like 6, then my recommendation would be to take a 4-year-old and under. That's just one of the kind of rules that they have in place. So no, I am not an emergency foster carer. I am actually registered as a long-term foster carer. There are all sorts of different kind of categories that you can fall into for the foster care system. So let me quickly explain them to you. You can do respite care. So you can be the person that a child might come to for a few days to have respite. So the child will already be in foster care. They'll be placed with another family, whether it's permanently or just emergency care. And sometimes that family might need respite. They might be going off and doing something that they can't take their foster child with, or the foster child might the foster carers just might need a break for whatever reason that is. And so you can be registered as respite care, and so the children will come to you, whether it's for a weekend, for a couple of days, whatever that kind of looks like is up to the department, but you register as respite carer. Then there is short-term foster care, where children are coming to you while they're perhaps going to be reunited with their family. So they're not going to be in foster care permanently, but they may need to be in care for a little while their parents are kind of getting themselves back together and being reunited with their children, which is wonderful. And so that is like a short-term foster carer. And then there's an emergency foster carer, and the emergency foster carer is the one who gets the call, you know, I've got this little child that's been taken into a care, can you take care of them for me? And you get them delivered to you straight away. So it's that kind of like, I'm outside your house with somebody, can you take care of them, to the children are sitting in the office, can I bring them to you within the hour? So it's very last minute kind of thing. And you might have that sweet little child for a night, you might have them for a week. It all depends on circumstances and what's happening. But you are the very first carer that child comes into contact with. And so you need to be equipped, willing and ready to deal with this sweet person that's coming into you. They might be quite upset, quite traumatized, because they've just been taken away from their family, from all that they've known. They're experiencing loss and grief. They will be scared, and they'll often be in the middle of the night. They're coming with just the clothes on their back. They could just be in their pajamas, have none of their belongings or anything like that. So you need to be a home that is set up to take these sweet children in. You need to have things in your home ready. So have lots of clothes in all different sizes that you can have for the children, a spare bedroom that is their own little room, little stuffed toys and all those kind of things that you can give to them and use in this kind of settling in process into your home. So that is an emergency foster carer. And then there's me, who's the long-term foster carer. And so children that would come to me are the children that have kind of come into emergency care. They've gone then into short-term foster care, where they've got this period of time where the parents can kind of put their life back together to be reunited with their children. And then sometimes it is obvious that will not happen, that the children unfortunately will not be reunited with their families, and so they need another family to permanently take them and, you know, bring them into their family, and they become a part of their family, which is us. We are long-term foster carers. answer is yes, you can absolutely say no. So when you get that phone call that there is a child or children that need to be placed in your home, they will give you all of the information that they possibly can about the situation. They will give you ages, health of the children, kind of what's going on, maybe a little bit about why they have been removed from their home if you need to know. They'll kind of give you as much background as they know. And if you're registered as an emergency carer, obviously you're signing up for taking children into your house straight away. But for those other ones, you get some time to think about the circumstances. Now, the person who's calling on the phone may set that time limit for you. So they may say, I've got these children that need a home. I can give you an hour to think about it, or they may give you longer. In my circumstances, I actually had a whole weekend to think about what was my yes and what was my no. And so you have the absolute authority to say yes or no to any placement. You need to really think about, am I going to be able to care for this situation for what they really need? And if the answer is no, that is okay. And the caseworkers will understand that too, because the caseworkers really want to know if it is a no, then they don't want to place the children with you, because it may work out and then they're having to look for someone else. And so they don't want that to happen. They don't want to bounce these children from home to home, and they also don't want to wear you out as a carer as well. So you do have the right to say yes and no, and that's really important when you go into this process of becoming a foster carer, to know what is your yes and what is your no, and be empowered by that. Know your capabilities, know the capabilities of yourself, of your home, and of your family and the children that are already in your home, and make a really wise decision. So you are totally in control of your circumstances. So yes, you can say yes or no to any placement that they ask you about. But yes, they will take care of you financially. And this is what it looks like. Remember, most of that money is for the child. So for instance, when a child first comes into care, you will get an allotment of money. So for example, when Little Crew first came into care, his emergency foster care was given, you're usually just given like a MasterCard, and then you can then go and use that, and they fill it up with money. You then go and use that card to purchase the things that you need for that child or that child needs. So when Little Crew Bear came in, he needed a pram, he needed some clothes, he needed some bottles, and things like that. So that foster carer, she went and bought all of those items for him. And then when he moved into my home, they were all his things, and so all of those things came with him. And so that's really, really great. Also, if you get a child in your care and you realize that they need things that you don't have, you can ask for the department to either provide you with those things or the money to go and get those things. So for example, when Jackson came into our family, he came in as a newborn baby, and we actually needed a new capsule for him. So we asked the department and they said yes, they would give us a MasterCard, and then we can go and purchase the capsule for ourselves. And in some circumstances, they do have car seats and things like that at the office, and you can just go and grab one for them. And so that was really, really helpful. You also get payments throughout the year as a foster carer as well, kind of working like the parent subsidy does from the government. So you would get regular payments into your account when you have children in your home, and that money goes on things for the child. So you will get some money, you get like a lump sum, and they're kind of saying this is what all of that money should be going towards. It goes towards your water bill, your electricity bill, towards groceries, towards heating, towards petrol, all those kind of things, as in you're taking a child into your home, and this is kind of a lump sum that they pay to you fortnightly that kind of cover all of those things for that child. Also, the children get a clothing allowance. I think there's probably like 3 payments a year of a couple of $100s. They will come in, and then that payment is then for you to go and purchase new clothes for the children, because children are always growing, they're always needing new things. So you get 3 payments of those a year. And then also all of the medical things, are paid by the government as well. So when children first come into care, there's often a lot of doctor's visits and things that you need to take them to. So you'll need to take them for a checkup. If they're really little, you'll need to take them to the child health nurse. You might need to take them to the dentist. Whatever that child needs, you need to take them to it. They might need to go to speech therapy, they might need to go to physical therapy, they might need to go to counselling sessions and all of those kind of things. All of those are covered by the government. You don't have to pay for any of that. The child will get their very own healthcare card and their very own Medicare card as well. And so they have benefits from the healthcare card system and from Medicare, and any appointments that they need to go to, any medication that they will need, that is all covered by the government as well. Unfortunately, the answer is no. Now, we are a homeschooling family, so how is that possible? Well, we actually, as I said, are no longer under the foster care system anymore. My two sweet little boys originally did come in through the foster care system, and they are now part of our family permanently. We have what's called a special guardianship order over them, so we're their guardian and we get to make their decisions and the decisions over their education. And so that is really, really great for us. But when children come into foster care, no, they cannot be homeschooled. They do, some children will already be in school, and so they may keep attending their local school that they are at. If they do come out from the area that they are living in and now in a different area, then the department might want to enroll them in a different school that is in your area. Now, the department do pay for the children's education if they are at a public school. So they'll cover their uniforms and any costs that needs to be paid and anything they need for excursions and all those kind of things, which is great. If you now, for our circumstances, originally we had our children at a private school, and we said to our caseworker, when it's time for our boys to go to school, can we send them to a private school? And they said, yes, you can, but every circumstance is different, and you would still have to talk about it with the department, and they would discuss that with you. The department won't give you money to cover their private school education. So you as a foster family would need to kind of foot that bill, we were more than happy to do that. We wanted all of our children in the same school when we were in school at the time. That's what we would have loved to have done. But what my experience has been is every child is a unique situation, and they do kind of have some overarching rules, but sometimes there are exception to the rules for children, and it's about working with your caseworker for what's best for the child in this situation. So the blanket answer to that question is no, you can't homeschool children if they are in the foster care system. If you have any other questions that you would like to know about being a foster carer, getting registered, and in particular being a foster carer in Australia, then please leave a comment down below. I would love to start a conversation with you over this. I am very passionate about people becoming foster carers because I know the great need that is out there in our communities. There are lots of little children out there that just need people and families to love them through the circumstances that they're going through. So any more questions, please leave me a comment down below. If I get enough, I can do another Q&A video with you. Again, thank you for watching my video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this content, and I will see you next time. Bye.